are recording the podcast. Hi, Mickey.
Hi, Hannah.
How's it going?
It's going.
Same.
How are you?
Same here. Same here. Oh, I guess we should. What are we listening to? You guys are listening to Thanks We Hate It, our podcast. This is episode 6.
Wow.
And I'm Hannah Lehman.
And I'm Mickey Atkins. Thanks for coming, everybody.
And yes, we are here. Mickey and I are a little tired.
Yes, a little
we're
frazzled
going through
today.
it. We're very frazzled today. I had to, oh my God, I went to my Remicade appointment, which, for those that don't know, it's my IV meds for my Crohn's disease, and I have to go to the hospital to get them, and I have to get it in an IV. Well, it's fine. It's an hour drip, right? But
Sure.
I had a new nurse today. God bless her. She was so sweet.
Okay.
But my usual nurse can get the IV in. I have the worst veins of all time. Anybody who's ever done phlebotomy will look at my arms and be like, no. They're just they're very small, and they're very, very deep.
Okay.
So it's already hard as it is, and the nurse that I usually have knows my arm. She even has it in her notes what spots to try.
Oh, that's nice.
And I have gotten so many IVs and blood draws at this point that
Yes.
I can tell the second somebody walks in the room, I can tell whether it's going to be good or not, whether they're going to be able to do it or not. And this was one of those times where I was like,
Oh no.
yeah, she's not going to get it, is she? And I feel really bad for saying that because she was so sweet. Nothing against this nurse. I'm sure she's great with everybody, but
Yeah.
it was just I just knew it. So she tried one arm, couldn't get it. Tried the second arm, kind of got it, but they couldn't take my labs, which they needed. And then she had to call in the nurse that usually does me, and she couldn't even get it the first time. So I got poked 4 times before they got the IV in, and I was able to get the meds. And then I was super late to pick up my dog, and then I was super late to come home because then traffic was really, oh my God. And with everything on top of everything else, I'm very stressed right now. I'm just
that.
going out of town next Wednesday, and yeah.
It's a lot.
How are you?
I'm okay. I literally just got done with my therapy job 20 minutes before we got on this call.
Yeah.
So my brain is very full, and Aaron and I had some stuff that we had to take care of this morning. So I woke up very early, and I don't know what is going on with me, but I am so fucking exhausted. The last 4 days, I have been just struggling to get out of bed, exhausted, where you wake up and your body is just bitch, not today. This is not, you're not ready. And so, you just fall back asleep, or you're exhausted and just not having it. I've had that for the last 3 or 4 days in a row. And I'm just wait, can I get some good sleep, please? Because I also have been sleeping weird, so my neck is hurting more than it normally does, and I'm just I'm in a
That's
bad
probably
mood.
why you haven't been able to wake up too, because you're probably not getting deep sleep, enough deep sleep. Because I would rather, and I don't know. I'm I don't know about you, if you're the same way right now, because I know we're both kind of going through separate but very, very busy things right now. But I don't have time for my usual self-care stuff that I do, because when you're so busy and so behind at the same time, it feels like it's just wasting time.
Yes.
If you go take a walk, or shave your legs, take a bath, read a book, whatever, what have you.
This is the first time that I've properly done my hair in a week, because I've just been waking up, putting it up, and being I have to go, I have stuff I have to do. So I've been wearing sweatpants and a sloppy bun for a week.
Yes.
I'm I don't have time, I can't deal with it. I'm
yes.
brushing my teeth and
my
being
hair's
I gotta
a
go.
grease ball. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just like cannot. I'm usually very good about self-care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually good about like stopping work at a certain time and then taking a few hours to like eat
That's
slowly, dinner, watch a TV show, shout, like just do,
Yeah.
like self-care stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying really hard to like force myself to do it anyway, like go
Yes.
just even if it's a short walk or something, because I know in the long run it's just gonna make me less productive if I get caught. But
Yes.
it's so hard.
It's
so hard right now because you just feel like, or you could keep going and have something else done tonight,
Mm-hmm.
so you have one less thing to do tomorrow.
Yes, that's my inner monologue all the time. Like, I'm not good at taking self-care time. I am always just like,
Yeah.
well, I'll just sit at my computer, like I have to finish this piece of documentation, or like this one thing, like, this thumbnail just needs like a little bit of zhuzhing or whatever. And then like hours go by because my little ADHD doo-doo brain, I'll just like fixate and like ping pong from task to task to task to task.
Yes.
And then like hours go by and I'm like, whoop.
Oh,
it is
dang
midnight.
It's yeah.
Whoops.
I feel like I just saw a comment on somebody's video the other day. It was another YouTuber I was watching, and they said something like, oh, they just made a comment about how like YouTubers' jobs are so easy and stuff, and how come you can't put more videos out? Because this wasn't on my video, this was on somebody else's video. I don't remember who it was. But why can't you put more videos out? Like, all you do is sit at home all day and film. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. And like, I don't want to discount the fact that yes, we're privileged to work for ourselves.
Of course.
And yes, the work is not complicated. Like, it's doable, but it's definitely, I know. But like, to say like, oh, well then, yeah, if it was that easy, all of us would put five videos out a week.
Yes.
Because we would make more money.
Yes.
So like, the fact that they just say like, oh, we're just like kind of implying that YouTubers all sit around 4 out of 5 days of the week.
Yeah.
And then just one day they like come up with something out of their butt, film a video and edit it is just like bananas to me. Like I'm a one-woman show.
Yeah, that's true.
Mickey's almost a one-woman show, one-person show.
Yeah.
And other than, I mean, Aaron, but still, like, you also have therapy clients on top of everything.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't even have that. So sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's not that, because I don't like when influencers like piss and moan about like, oh, our life is so hard, because like
right.
It is, like, it is hard for sure, but also like just like income wise, like the amount of money that you can make for like the type of content we're making or whatever, compared with like the absolutely unlivable wages and like office jobs and stuff, whatever, like obviously that's important for us to be aware of that privilege, but at the same time, like you were saying, if it was really that easy, I would be putting out 5 videos a week, and like just raking in AdSense, but like it doesn't work that way. Right. I feel like people also just really underestimate the time that goes into content ideation. Cause like I know for you, like you write full scripts for your videos, right? Like there's a lot of prep work. And like I don't write scripts necessarily, but I have this whole process where like I have to sift through this whole list of like different content ideas. Like, is this feasible? Do I like this? Is this a video I want to make? What resources do I need? What research do I need to have? What like ancillary media do I need to collect to like support my point? All of that stuff. And then I sit through, make an outline, talk with Aaron about it, and then we do the filming, then we do the editing, then we do the uploading and the thumbnail and the zhuzhing and the keywords, and like, it's a lot. It's just, it's overwhelming. And I think also
it's
that
not
might be
just
part of
sitting down and being, I was just saying, it's not just like sitting in front of a camera and being like, you know what, I'm going to talk about this particular story that happened to this particular person, or this topic in mental health.
I wish.
And just be able to like come up with or memorize it. Like I have usually my scripts for like a video that's going to be 45 minutes. It's like a 6-page full of text script that I have that takes me several hours to film. And I do want to be like, I'm definitely not complaining. I would never, like, we also wouldn't be doing it if we didn't love it. I absolutely would not trade it for the world. Like, I'm so grateful. But it's like, okay, both things can be true. it can
Yes.
also be challenging at times.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think that's also part of why I'm so fatigued is because we just finished May Mental Health Month and we were putting up regular channel content on Saturdays and then Vaguely Therapeutic every other Thursday. And then we were putting up one video every week on Wednesdays that was just like purely May Mental Health, like resources and tips and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then we live streamed MILF Manor. So just like we were fucking pumping out content all of May.
Your
bitch,
live
and I'm
streams.
exhausted.
I don't know how you do those live streams, you guys. If you don't listen to Mickey's live streams, they literally record for like, what is it, like 5 hours?
One of them
I've
was like
seen
6.
some of your
So
and
long.
doing like multiple episodes at a time, and I like sometimes I have to skip them. I want to come to all of them, but
they're long.
I like can't. I know. I want to mod for you and everything, but oh my gosh, I just don't know how you do that. Like how like exhausted you must be after 5 hours of that. But speaking of which, how did your fundraiser go?
It went so good. Actually, I need to announce the final totals for all of that because it's June 1st when we're recording this. We met and exceeded our goal. The goal for the fundraiser was $2,500, and I think we raised just over $3,000. So I'm very excited about it. I know it went great.
Congratulations! Congratulations! That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Especially that one person, I can't remember the username, but somebody was donated like $300 in one of your live streams once. It was amazing.
Yeah,
People
Fax
are so
Machine
great.
and
Fax
Mark
Machine,
were both just like going off, donating
just
crazy amounts of money. Yeah, but no, we had a really fun time. It was cool.
So cool. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great way to give back to the community
It
and
felt
stuff
really
like
good.
that. And and something you care that we can tell you're passionate about, you know.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready?
Let's go. What are we talking about today? Mickey is talking to me today about something in honor of, I believe, Pride Month.
Yeah. We saw your guys' feedback that you guys enjoy and or appreciate us doing one topic episodes. And so given our current state of affairs that we're both exhausted, we're going to do a one topic episode today because I have a lot to say. I have thoughts, I have feelings about Pride Month, particularly about the Target Pride merch or like Pride collection that sort of launched, but like didn't launch. So how familiar are you, Hannah, with the like Target Pride situation?
Very, very unfamiliar other than the tiny bit that you've told me.
Okay.
Before we get into it, is there content warnings for like homophobia and stuff and transphobia?
Yes, because we're going to be talking about Pride Month and the backlash associated with that. I think, there's definitely a trigger warning here for like homophobia, general prejudice, and like other things associated with that because it's, the
Just
reason the Pride merch got taken down is not because it was fun,
Yeah. People just sucking in general. Not minding their own business is what it is. But okay, I don't know that much about it at all other than the fact that you told me. I was scared when I first heard about it though, because my first thought was, oh my God, did Target pull it because people were like saying, like, was it like the Bud Light thing where people were like boycotting because of it kind of is that, but it was worse. So much worse.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't familiar, every year Target and like all of the big box stores, all the big corporations have a Pride collection during Pride Month. Target is like probably one of the more well-known ones, but it's become sort of like a meme within the queer community to talk about the different Pride collections and like who's coming out with what, like what products are there. And it's like kind of a fun little content niche for people to like rate this year's Target Pride collection. Because like in years past, from my understanding anyways, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but a fair amount of the merch that Target created for Pride Month was like made by Target. And so some of it was cool. And then a lot of it was like misses. There was this one t-shirt. I'll try to remember to send you a picture of it so you can add it in post. But there was a t-shirt or like some piece of clothing, like wearable clothing that just had all of the pronouns on it. Instead of like making a line of shirts with like they, them, she, her, they, their, like all of the sort of different pronouns that someone could
So
use.
you could pick the one that
Yeah,
you wanted.
they just put them all
you
on a t-shirt to like really effectively confuse anyone to be like, what, like, which is it? You know what I'm saying? And so like that was kind of a funny joke, right? That like, oh, Target, like, sure, you're trying to participate, but like you don't really get it. And there's also like a fair amount of conversations about rainbow washing and all of that, which is an issue, by the way. Don't just be swayed if you're a queer person by a large corporation changing their logo to be rainbow for Pride Month if they're not doing the work, because sometimes people do that, where they're not actually like being allies to our community. They just want rainbow stuff.
Well, they know it'll make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it like looks good from an optics perspective.
I mean, I have one thought about that. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it's not really part of a community that I consider myself a part of. But is it still like, even if they're rainbow washing, is it still like good in the sense that big corporations are like openly saying they support this thing, even if they're not doing it the best way, but is it still like a better step in the right direction, I would say?
Yeah.
Or is it just kind of like literally better than nothing?
I mean, I don't know. I think people will probably land in different places about that, because like, to me, on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, sure, because like I remember growing up being this like closeted and confused queer person who like didn't even really realize that I was queer, but mostly because there was no representation of like what that looked like, right? Like I knew that like Ellen DeGeneres was gay. I knew that like I don't know, like maybe 5 famous people were gay, and like that was the extent of that. And so I had this very like regimented view of like, gay or queer people only look this one particular way. And so in some ways I'm like, it's really not the worst for like the like rainbow washing thing to just like normalize that, like, yes, gay people do in fact exist. And like, yes, this is like a normal part of society. That's not like, like a 1%er issue. Like it's actually exceedingly common for people to be queer, So like, I appreciate it from that perspective, because like middle school me would have been blown the fuck away if Target turned everything rainbow for a year. But then also at the same time, it does feel a little bit like co-opting, like for corporations who are changing their logo to be rainbow on Twitter, but like doing nothing else. It does have a little bit of the like, get the fuck out of my, like, you don't even go here kind of energy. Like
they're
you don't
profiting off of something that they're not.
Yeah. Like especially when these big corporations are donating money to political campaigns that fund politicians who actively try to like erase and oppress and like hurt queer people, then it's a little bit like fuck out of here with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you don't get to co-opt my existence and my very real, like disadvantage societally to try to make your company money. Like fuck you. That's rude as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally understandable.
Yeah. So it's like
there's a lot of nuance to that
like
one.
A yes and.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of like the meme and the joke about, like Target Pride collections and like Pride collections generally. It's become kind of like a thing that people expect every year. And so this year, when Target announced their Pride collection, people were really excited because Target had decided to officially partner with a bunch of like small creators and small businesses and stuff. There's a company that I follow on TikTok who like announced that like, you guys, we made t-shirts and we made like these greeting cards that say like, I'm so glad you're queer, or like, congratulations on coming out. And like this t-shirt, this is like, trans people will always exist. Like these really cute, like little, yeah, exactly. And the thing that was really exciting to people is that it wasn't just like, a bunch of straight white men in a Target boardroom were like, I don't know, make the lesbian flag into a dress. Fuck it.
Right.
It was like real merch made by queer people for queer people. So it was like a cool little like representation moment,
Yeah.
But that was like super short-lived. Basically what happened is that, like you were saying, similar to the Bud Light situation, Target announced this Pride collection. The stuff hit stores in like the end of May. And then Bigots did what Bigots do, where they like pitched a fit about, but what about the children? And in particular,
sorry, that's not funny, but also it's like,
yes, but for real,
so true. It's so true though. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The party of like anti-bodily autonomy and like guns for
Right.
kindergartners is concerned about
Right.
child
And
safety
teachers.
now. Yeah, but a lot of the fuss was about a swimsuit that Target made. Have you heard about this? So
Do I need to look up a picture while we're sitting here?
you can if you want to. The swimsuit itself is like particularly unremarkable in my opinion.
And you might get to if you're going to get to this later, feel free to just say like, we'll talk about it later. But like, what is so different about this year? Like, why are they freaking out this year and not other years?
I don't know. I guess because people are becoming increasingly radicalized under like a post-Trump America. I'm not really sure. Maybe not
I was gonna
radicalized, but
say,
like extreme.
No, like, well, it might be just that they're getting more, they're getting louder and louder because they're more and more uncomfortable about the way the world is going. So they're trying to pretend like it's not going that way.
It does
and
also.
That there really is, they really want to convince people that there's two sides to this story, and there's not. No. This is not an opinion. No. This is a group of people that exist whether you like it or not. Yes.
And have existed.
So the very least you could do is mind your own business.
Yes. Just like shut the fuck up about it. Just, you know?
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit like the thing that's happening too is with like Roe v. Wade and like a lot of the, you know, like the shit that's happening in Florida. Oh yeah.
Is that it?
Is that the swimsuit? There's probably another one too. The one with like the tuck friendly construction for the bottoms. I think it's a 2-piece.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Is it black?
Yeah, I think so. That's why I said it's like so unremarkable. It's like very uninteresting as far as swimsuits are concerned. Yep, that's the one that people are just enraged.
That's what people are freaking out about?
Yes. So
because there's a tuck feature?
Yes.
For non-binary and trans people?
Yes. Exactly, Hannah. That's the appropriate reaction to have. Just like stunned silence and annoyance. Yeah.
Do they realize that people are going to do that regardless of whether there's a swimming suit for it?
No, and apparently not. The other thing that's crazy to me, so I have a lot of thoughts about this swimsuit issue, but let me give you some helpful context because a lot of the backlash has taken place on TikTok, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah.
In particular, there have been quite a few adult white cis-het women who have grabbed that swimsuit that says like tuck friendly construction for the bottoms and then the top that says like light binding effect. They've grabbed that swimsuit that is
so
intended,
cool,
right? That's what I'm saying.
What a great! I have never even heard of anything like that.
Yes. And also like imagine like trans or gender non-conforming little like middle school me being like, oh wait, like I can wear something that doesn't make me feel uncomfortable to the pool, like that can just allow me to forget about my body and just be present in the moment. Like that sounds incredible. Why would we not want that? But people are taking this swimsuit, which is made for adults. If you'll notice, it's for fucking grown-ups, and they're walking into the children's section and then being like, oh my God, and like doing the pearl clutching thing about how they're trying to indoctrinate our babies to wear gender-neutral swimwear or something.
They're
like
going.
They're grabbing an adult swimsuit, walking into the children's section, and then saying, I found this in the children's section. Target is targeting our children with this like pride section stuff, even though that's not fucking true. That's literally
they're making a TikTok. They're not announcing it to the store.
No.
They're making a TikTok claiming that they found it in the children's sections. But okay, first, even if it was in the children's section, I don't understand why that's a big deal either.
That's what
like
I'm
you think
saying.
they would actually, you'd think that they would like that because that's not quote unquote like gender conforming care, gender confirming care, like in the medical sense.
Yes.
Not that I'm against that, but like you'd think that they'd be better with that.
Yes.
You'd think that they would be well, I guess there's no logic with these people. But
exactly. Yes, that is the problem. Because the other thing too that like really grinds my fucking
Okay.
gears about this
Yeah.
whole like they're targeting our children
Yeah.
thing is that these are the same people who say, you know, we can't teach people about sexual orientation in school because they're too
Right.
young to learn about that, but have no issue with Target having onesies that say like lady killer in the boys section and
Right.
like, you know, not allowed to date until I'm 30 in the girls
Uh-huh.
section.
In the little toddler section. Well,
Yes.
and the other thing, I'm sorry, did I miss the part where Target removed all of the other bathing suits? Did they remove all of them and they only put gender neutral
Literally.
bathing suits at Target?
That's what I'm saying.
Because I'm pretty sure I'll take things that never happened for 300.
Yes.
Because what? No, like, what is your gripe? I
Yes,
don't get it.
exactly.
Like, what is the...
That's the other thing that like really is confusing to me is this like rhetoric that like on the one hand, in theory, this is the party that supports the idea of small government, like not you know, the government not overreaching, not meddling in people's personal lives, the right to privacy, all of that kind of stuff, right? But then also takes big issue with people raising their own queer children in ways that are safe and comfortable for their family, right? Like if you don't want to buy a gender neutral swimsuit for your children, then don't. Like it's not even in the kids section. It's literally in the pride section, which is segregated from the rest of the store and also very easily discernible from the outside because it's covered in fucking rainbows. So if you don't want to go there, then don't.
But we're the snowflakes. We're the ones that are so sensitive.
Yes, apparently.
It's the liberal people that are snowflakes. Because, yeah, we're the ones that are triggered.
Yeah, clearly.
That, I mean, and also for the beer, like these parents, if they are getting these kind of things for their children because their children want it, they could get it on Amazon still.
Yes.
Like, it's not like it doesn't exist.
Correct.
What is this obsession with other people's
genitals,
bodies and
Good
genitals
question.
and especially the concerning yourself with the genitals of other people's children
is weird.
Wild.
Like
that is so creepy. Like I'm not implying anything by that, but I'm saying the mere fact that you're thinking about that at all is weird.
Yes.
Is weird. You're weird. You're a weirdo. If
like,
you think
go
about
home.
other
Watch TV, touch grass, get out of our fucking
It's
life.
like-
The other thing that I want to point out too is that like a lot of people have talked about how even if you're not a gender nonconforming person, the idea of having a swimsuit that has like tuck friendly construction is helpful to a bunch of different people because like I don't know if you have experienced this, but like I am just eternally frustrated by like swimsuits and even underwear to an extent doing this thing where like the gusset part of it that's meant to cover your vulva is like so small, like just embarrassingly small. This is like a trope in plus size clothing because like I don't know, maybe this is weird to talk about, but like when you get fat, all of you is fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so companies will do this where they don't size up like proportionally other parts of your clothing. So like it's very common for plus size people to be like, my fucking ass is hanging out of this swimsuit. And like, I don't want it to be, but it is, you know, and like, your vulva doesn't fit into things the way that you would want it to. Like even for me, like
that,
my boobs are fucking gigantic. Like they were already, but like especially as a fat person now, they're like even larger. And so it's annoying to not have clothes that are just like amenable to that. So when I heard slight binding effect and tuck friendly construction, I was like, hey, all right, like these are swimsuit bottoms that have a wider gusset, and so like I can feel more comfortable with that. And also a light binding effect sounds delightful for going to the beach and like running around and going swimming and playing with my friends and not worrying about having a nip slip while I'm just trying to have like a nice little lake day. You know what I'm saying? Like I immediately was like, even from a not like a gendered perspective, I'm like, oh, this sounds really nice. Like what a nice thing for them to make for people to have comfortable clothes.
Like a slight binding effect would be amazing for so many people.
Yes.
Like I hear people like if people with large boobs like complain about how they like it's very hard to keep everything in and everything. But even me as like I guess I would say like an average size person, I feel like swimsuit bottoms are small for me too. Like they're even small for like my vulva, and like so I can't even imagine. But like I have the same problem. This is a different problem. This is just a clothes in general problem. But because I'm like flat chested, but I got a bigger booty, you know, it is so hard to find bathing suits because like I can't buy a bathing suit, a 2-piece on Amazon, because it has to come in a medium or a large.
Yeah.
But I can't get a small, I can't get a large bottom and a small top.
I want like a 4X swimsuit top and like an extra large bottom, because that's just the way that I'm built, man. But you can't buy stuff like that. And so the other thing that's so funny to me too about the like, you know, oh my gosh, they're targeting our children thing, is that if you look in the girls section for swimsuits right now at Target, there's like little 2-piece bikinis, right? And like little teeny tiny frilly things for babies that like, yeah, sure, they're cute. If you're just like plopping your toddler in like one of those little kiddie pools to like take a cute summer pic for your scrapbook or whatever. But like for a child to actually go to the pool and go swimming, that's wholly impractical, right? Like of course little boys swimsuits come with like big pockets and like appropriate coverage from the sun so they're not burning their little baby skin, right? And like but like no, for sure what we should be upset about is this swimsuit that like first of all isn't even for kids, but second of all, even if it was, just like what offers them more coverage and the ability to like go play and be a kid at the beach without worrying about getting their stuff all tangled and crossed. Like, why is that bad? Why would that be bad? It's very upsetting.
Was there other TikToks that you saw? Was there that TikTok where somebody was taking it and putting it into the kid section? Was that more than one person doing that?
Yes.
Or so it was like a trend?
Yeah, it happened more than once, for sure. The other thing that has happened is that there are people showing up at Target. There's actually a video of somebody in Arizona doing this, where they showed up at Target with like a posse of their other white supremacist buddies. And I'm not like making that accusation, by the way. This person's like a well-documented white supremacist. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
I'll send it to you after we're done with this. But he showed up.
This is somebody on TikTok?
Yeah. Yeah. And like just on social media generally, he makes content that's like really.
He took a video of this?
Yes. Of them destroying Target's property, like dismantling the Pride section, knocking stuff over, and saying like, we're going to go to every Target in all of Arizona and do the same thing. We're going to knock all of this stuff down. And also apparently not these particular people, but Target has just reported that like generally there have been people coming into the stores who are just shocked and horrified by the Pride section as if it hasn't existed for years on end, and being violent towards the staff, like making threats towards the like teenagers who work at Target, and like again throwing stuff.
Minimum wage.
Yeah, throwing stuff and like being physically intimidating and verbally threatening to employees.
Because they had everything to do with what.
Clearly.
They're not just trying to like get their freaking work shift done.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like we are not paid enough for this.
But all of this poor behavior and unwarranted backlash has now resulted in Target mostly eliminating, if not like greatly reducing the inventory that they're carrying for the Pride collection in stores and online, sort of. Like there's still some of it online, at least there was the last time I checked, but basically Target's response to this whole thing was like, pull it, just get rid of it then. And like kowtowing to a bunch of kooks,
right? But it's like, but it's also like, if it's the safety of these teenage employees putting up with harassment, like I don't know. How do you feel about it in general? Like, what do you think? Like, I'm not saying I'm for taking it down. It's just that like, I don't know what I would do in that situation either if my employees felt scared to come to work, you know?
Yeah. Cause I had the same thought initially where I was like, okay, but what are they going to do? Like just put their teenage employees in harm's way. But the thing that like really gets me though, as a person who used to work in food service and retail, I'm like very familiar with what happens when a manager gives one of these like weirdos what they want, right?
I know.
What happens is that they come back. They keep coming back.
Yep.
They keep coming back, and they say, well, so-and-so did it for me last time. The manager who was here
Yep.
did it last time. Or like the other
Yep.
store did it for me last time. And then when you don't give it to them, they get violent. They get like even more violent than they were in the past. And so like, I mean, this is another thing too that I talk about with people when we're doing like problematic family work around setting boundaries, right? Is that the behavior that we allow is the behavior that we encourage. When we tell people either implicitly or explicitly, I'm going to continue to be in relationship with you. I'm going to continue to have contact with you, even though you treat me bad, you violate my boundaries, you talk to me in a way that doesn't feel good, you like disrespect me in other ways, right? Basically what you're communicating is that all those boundaries you're trying to voice mean nothing. That person can violate those boundaries over and over again, and you're still going to continue to give them the benefit of being in relationship with you. And so like this to me feels very similar where like, yes, it sucks the idea that these like teenage hourly worker employees are potentially being put in harm's way, but also Target is a multi-million, if not billion-dollar corporation with really deep pockets to hire security guards and to ban people.
That's
from
what I
stores,
was just thinking.
You know,
right? Is like have a security guard at the front so that they see there's somebody there watching, and then have somebody like watch that section. Of this store and stand up to them and call the police.
Yes.
And tell them if you vandalize, we're going to call 911.
Yeah. Well, and if we get even a whiff that you're being a fucking weirdo, goodbye. You're getting kicked out of the store. Like that's the end of that. You're just not fucking welcome here, and you're being like banned from our stores or like, you know, physically removed from the premises or whatever. Like, I don't know. It feels like there were a lot of solutions that Target could have come to that weren't like, we're so sorry, we'll just get rid of it then. Like, hello, you know?
Target has a net worth of $59.92 billion with a B as of June 1st, as of today.
Hello.
They have decreased, their market cap has decreased 16.59% in 1 year, but still, that's not a multi-million-dollar company. That's a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
So you
Big
are
money.
Definitely correct. Like they have the resources to not only do what you just said, but also like keep their more vulnerable workers that are maybe younger than 18 or, you know, people that are a part of groups that are more vulnerable. In our society, like it at the checkouts where there's people around and people, you know, where there's a lot of people around, and keeping the more seasoned, protected groups of employees in the dressing rooms, in the other parts of the store working where people, bigots like this guy are less likely to challenge them because, you know, males are usually less likely to challenge other males, and keep all those workers on the floor, and then, you know, then they don't have to sacrifice any staff, but they would just be able to protect their workers. Yeah, you're right. It does feel it feels like there was other ways they could have gone about this, and they chose to go just the easy way out. So, which kind of brings us back to rainbow washing, because if they really weren't rainbow washing, if they really were allies and wanted to stand up for those groups, then why is it so easy for them to just say like, oh, well, forget it? Yeah.
This was their chance to like really demonstrate that not only are we, you know, going to make this collection and also like partner with these small businesses who, you know, this is like a big break for them. We are going to stand up for what we believe in. Like we as a company are committed to being champions for the queer community. And so like, fuck you, get out of our fucking stores if you're gonna be an asshole, you know. But
that would have sent a really, really big message. That would have sent something that would have been really powerful. I think,
well, and the thing that like, just the, like really,
because now they've won this battle.
Now and they're going to keep doing it. That's the thing now that they're going to keep doing it. The other thing that's like noteworthy in my opinion is that other companies obviously release Pride collections and still received some backlash, but made the intentional choice to keep their collection up. Like The North Face. I saw something this morning about how the North Face, it was either the North Face or Patagonia, one of the like hiking companies, which granted is a smaller company, but still received some backlash about their Pride merch. And they released a public statement on all their social media basically saying like, we're keeping it. We've decided that like, not only does it align with our company values, but also like, quite frankly, it's good business to be aligned with the queer community, which is like the other thing is that when you do this, like Target making this choice, right, to take their Pride merch out of the stores, do you really think that those conservative, white supremacist bigots are going to come back to Target and buy your shit now? Like, no, they're not.
Won back that demographic.
No, like they have always hated Target because Target's been a more like liberal store in like, you know, years past. And so like, who is this benefiting? Because also now in doing that, they've alienated a lot of the queer community because there's people,
I know,
I mean, myself included, that I'm like, I don't want to buy your stuff. Like, you guys are cowards and also dicks, you know? I don't want to give you my money now either. So like, who is this helping, Target? Who is it that you're trying to please? Because it seems like nobody.
Well, right. And considering the fact, I would say, even though it is alarming how many people are still prejudiced like this, for the most part, there's a higher percent of the population that is either in the queer community or non-binary or an ally or doesn't care or supports it, you know, all that population is bigger than the few people that are just very, very, very loud about it. And so you're right. It is like, I mean, I don't fault businesses for wanting to like do Pride stuff for good business, but like you said, just like also do the work and don't just like stand down when that happens, or maybe hire non-binary and trans and queer employees, like so that, and have the signs up in your doors that say it's a safe place for that, you know? Yeah. And it's like, I know you live in Arizona, where I'm at in Seattle. It's a totally different culture. Cause like you go into the city of Seattle and there's like trans and rainbow flags, or is that gay pride flags? In like flag. Almost every store window. That's like so nice. It's just like everywhere. Almost everybody has flags like just up like on their front porch and stuff like that. It's like,
I love that.
Oh yeah, you have to come to Seattle sometime because I want to take you to. I want to take you to Capitol Hill at night. Capitol Hill is the like the LGBTQ plus central of so Seattle. Fun. It's a neighborhood in Seattle where literally like it is known as the safe place. And it's, I mean, there's like rainbow sidewalks like in this place. And there's a ton of there's just so many gay clubs, and like when you go there at the nightlife, like everybody is just being themselves. I've been down there to like bar hop at night. Yeah. There's a bar down there called the Unicorn. I almost chose that. That was the bar that I just learned this. My friends told me this the other day, but that was the bar that they went to in the Seattle Love is Blind, where the girls went to their bachelorette party. I didn't realize it was the same place, but I've been to that place. It is the coolest bar. They have like drinks called like unicorn jizz and stuff like that, like all these like fun drinks. They have like, if it's your birthday, they have, I did this once in my 20s, they have this giant unicorn horn crown that you have to put on if it's your birthday. When you're there. It's such a cool bar. I was so close to going. I'm not going to Capitol Hill for my birthday this year. I was thinking about it, but it's just like I think the other thing is that's just so different. I mean, even here, like generally people in even just like same-sex relationships are like usually don't do that much PDA because you know, because there's just still that stigma around it. And even though it's more common here, if you go to Capitol Hill, especially at night, like nobody is inhibited. Everybody's just like making out with each, like nobody cares. Yeah. It is, and like you said, it is kind of a utopia. That's why a lot of people end up like moving there because they know they're safe in that neighborhood.
I wish that Seattle and like the Pacific Northwest generally was just cheaper, though. Like, I'm so sad that it's like literally the most expensive place to live in the United States, with the exception of like, I don't know, fucking
New
LA
York
proper and and like DC and New York, I guess. I just it's so sad to me.
Yeah, but you and Aaron have to come up sometime.
No, I definitely want to
and visit, because I will take you down for a night of Seattle.
I would love that.
It would be so fun. I think you would love it, and it would just be I would. Yeah. I got to come to Arizona too, but because I want to see what it's like down there. Like, I want to see your nightlife.
Curious. Yeah. Well, and the thing too that's funny is that Tucson is certainly a safer place, and just like generally I think it's more fun to be a queer person here than it is in Phoenix. At least that's been my experience anyways, because Tucson has this weird kind of like, people call it a big small town, where like it's a big city. There's like 500,000 people who live here in like city limits anyways. So it's not like, you know, some like rural country bumpkin situation, but it is like very small. And so like there's a lot of small businesses here. There's a lot of like little local one-off kind of things. Whereas Phoenix is like very much like big chain restaurants, corporations, because also too, it's so expensive in Phoenix. Right. Being a small business trying to rent commercial real estate is like just more difficult. Like in Tucson, it's easier because a lot of our buildings are like historic and like a little shitty. So it's just cheaper. So I think that's why there's a lot more like local businesses here. But like 4th Ave and like downtown here are very much queer spaces. Like if you're an openly, outwardly queer person, it's not like weird or like, you know, you don't really get looks or like, you know, judgment. It just kind of is. I think also too, the proximity to the U of A, the university here helps, because it's like literally right down the street. So it does kind of have that vibe. But like still, even in Tucson, there's one like gay bar that like is the bar that you go to if you want to see a drag show. And like there's a few other places that are like, you know, LGBT owned and stuff, but they're not like, you know, it's certainly not like there's a whole city block that's just like all LGBTQ and like queer owned and operated.
This is a whole neighborhood. This is a giant neighborhood. This is not crazy. A block. This is I have friends that live down there, and I mean, other than the fact that parking is an absolute fucking nightmare there, but that's anywhere in Seattle. Yeah. So
also, girl, just take an Uber. Yeah. Don't park anywhere.
Yeah, I think I would park. I wouldn't take an Uber from where I live because I live on the east side. Fair. That'd probably be a $50 to $100 Uber. I have friends that live in Seattle, so I could like I usually park in there. Like they'll have a guest spot that I could park. That's what I'm doing for my birthday this weekend, is parking at my. We're doing Fremont though, not Capitol Hill, but we're gonna park. I know there is a place. I know that's the Troll. Have you ever heard of the Seattle Troll? Mm-mm. Oh, that's like a famous landmark here. That's in Fremont.
Oh, that's cool.
In Seattle, yeah. You have to look up a picture.
What is it?
It's a giant troll statue under a bridge.
That's so fun.
It's really cool. I know. You should look it up because it's pretty sick.
I'm looking that up.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going for my birthday this weekend.
That sounds so fun.
But my friends live down there, and they said that since I'm the birthday girl, I can use their guest spot. So my other friends that live close to me are going to drive me there.
Hell yeah.
Too. So people are so.
Everybody in the comments wish Hannah a happy birthday.
Yes. Please. When this comes out, it actually will be like the day after my birthday. Mm-hmm. So
happy birthday, Hannah.
Thank you, Nikki. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I already told you this, but I wish you could come to my birthday party because we're gonna have so much fun. I feel like you would really love my friends too. They're such like
I feel like
they're a really good group of people. Yeah, they're a fun group without being too. They're not boisterous. They're not like absolutely like they don't bounce off the walls or anything, but they're not boring. Okay. Like we're very good at like going to different bars and like hanging out. And
I feel like I kind of
having a
bounce
good
off
time,
the
so.
walls a little bit, especially when I'm drinking.
I am
loud.
that person in the group. The rest of the group is not like that. I am the person who's jumping off the walls, and they're all taking care of me. But that's okay. They know me.
Yeah, you get to.
I mean, this is the group I used to have. Like, we used to have house parties in our college house because we were all roommates in college. So we used to have like giant house parties in college together. They've seen me at my worst. They.
That's so funny.
So I'm sorry. I've been talking about myself for a long
You're
time.
fine.
We have 5 minutes left. Was there anything else to that Target story though? Like, I cut you off. Was that like anything? Was there any like
that's
other
the general gist.
part of
Really,
the
the only other
stories?
thing that we haven't like explicitly touched on is just how disappointing it is that Target pulled a lot of the merch or like product that was made by small businesses and just like left these small businesses in the lurch. I've seen more than one, either like TikTok or Instagram or like social media post from these small companies being like, we don't know anything. Like, we know what you guys know. We just know that a lot of our product got pulled from stores. We haven't heard about like if it's going to be put back, if like our relationship with Target is just being severed altogether. Like, just no communication on Target's end, which on top of the fact that it's very disappointing and that they made the decision to pull the stuff in the first place, it's like doubly disappointing that they did it in this like very messy, very disrespectful way to all of these people that they partnered with. Because at the very least, if you're going to be cowards, then the least you could do is be like well organized cowards and communicate, you know, but like be apparently they're not even doing that.
Do we know the list of the small businesses that we're going to partner with them? Can we like link their sites?
That's
Can
such a
we
good
link
idea.
their stuff
I feel like I can probably find a list. I can text it to you after we're done.
I mean, we don't have a huge audience on the podcast, but hey, anything's better. They might have Etsy shops or they might have other online stores that we could just plug them.
Yeah. I saw a couple for sure that I know have shops and stuff. So we'll try to put together a little list.
Yeah, the ones that we can find. If forgive us if we miss anybody. It's just because we couldn't. They were left out of the lists that we found. Yeah. So
no, that's a really good idea. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the gist. This week, thanks. We hate it when corporations aren't supportive of queer people.
Are you? Well, on a happier note, are you doing anything for Pride Month? Do you celebrate? Like, do you actually like go anywhere for Pride Month or do anything?
So listen. The last couple of years, I've had full intent to go to Pride here and just like never made it. But there's actually a like Pride happy hour that's happening right now. It's called a Big Gay Happy Hour. And I thought about going because I have astrology class later tonight. And I was like, maybe I'll just go. Yeah. But listen, here's the thing. I know that I appear as a very extroverted, outwardly social person on the internet. But in real life, I'm very shy. Erin has to work, so I don't want to go by myself.
Oh, by yourself.
And I'm awkward.
I am not the type of, I can't just go to a bar where everybody has friends and they're having fun and just like be like, hey, which is, I mean, I'm sure they'd be welcoming of you, but like, I totally understand. My social anxiety could never. Like, I'm that same way too. I need
an emotional support buddy.
Yeah. I'm like I'm the same. I feel like the same way as you, where it's like everybody thinks I'm an extrovert. Everybody thinks I'm like super confident and super outgoing. And it's like, I'm loud. There's a difference. That's a different thing.
Oh my God. I almost spit my drink out. That's too real. Yes, I'm loud and like sometimes funny, but that doesn't mean that I'm comfortable. I feel like I'm in danger this whole time. And I know that I'm not, but my brain has convinced me that this situation is not safe. So therefore, I'm in a state of fight or flight and I need to go. Yeah, I think that's a nice note to wrap it up on. If you are also a socially anxious being, we see you. We appreciate you. We see you.
We feel you. Mm-hmm. Well, I hope you have fun at your astrology class at least. Thank you. Yeah. Because that does sound fun.
Be gay with my astrology friends, which coincidentally all of them are also gay, so that helps.
Oh, perf. You know? Has Savannah eaten any of her poop today?
Maybe. Maybe.
We'll see. We talked about that too. Mickey's dog eats her own poop
And then pukes it up in my house.
So yeah, she's tried everything, but if anybody has a dog that does the same thing and found some weird magical solution that maybe Mickey hasn't thought of, leave it in the comments. So
because I just, I'm just fist pumping with joy about how often my dog eats poop. It's great. I love it.
No. It's so terrible. I'm so sorry.
Awful. But
all right.
That's it. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and or subscribe, depending on what platform you're listening on, and leave us reviews because it helps us a lot.
Please. And my dog's barking, so that's perfect timing.
Nice.
She's telling us to get off the phone. She's like, okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you
Bye.
next week. Bye.